So one of the things that I'm going to be painting water, sparkling water. So Joe and I, in our aged wisdom, have gotten paddle boards. It's crazy. Um, yeah, standing on them is very hard. The first time I stood up, it didn't fall in. Uh, Joe was laughing at me because the last time I stood up, yesterday, I guess I did this just elegant swan dive into the water head first. I mean, I went face first right into the water, and kind of was shocking. I didn't mean to get my hair wet, but yeah, it was funny. Anyway, but what I really enjoyed was sitting on the paddle boards, and we were able to paddle way out and just kind of float on the water and be cool, getting splashed and paddling around, and good exercise, great core work. And just the way the water was sparkling. And so I'm going to attempt for Hell's Gate State Park, which is just surrounded by the most amazing trees and things, but I'm going to try to do the sparkling water because there's beachfront here that you can go down. So that's going to be my ACEO mile marker series for Hell's Gate, is sparkling water. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy watching it being made, and I hope you like the end result and maybe even buy one. I would love that. There's nothing that makes me happier. So anyway, off I go to painting, and we'll see what happens. Love you. All right. I am getting ready to paint sparkling water. And I want to do it on an ACEO, but I think what I'm going to do is do it on this little one first, and then I'll do a little ACEO. Or maybe I'll just do the ACEO. I'll set up two of them. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. So here is my little setup. Sitting outside, I have, I'm at the table, so I have space this time and access to other things. So I'm going to go ahead and use my little ceramic, my Meaden. This is a Meaden ceramic palette. I'm going to use that. I am going to test this, and I'm going to use my good brushes. There you are. Gimme. So just getting all set up here. Really don't need to draw anything on this. Let's see, which palette do I want to use? I'm going to go this one. I'm going to use this one. And spray. Get things started. First thing you always do is spray your paints so that they're nice and juicy when you're ready to use them. Got that. Let's see how this goes. I know I'm going to need that. So I'm going to set that aside because I think everything I need is right here. I get to paint directly on. And this sits up nice, so I don't have to, it's not going to be all crooked. So that's kind of cool. This is my little ACEO kit. Oh, there is the one that is for sale right now, at least at the time of this recording, on my storefront. Link in the description. And this one just sold. I forgot to give it to my husband. Dang it. So I'm going to hand deliver this because it's a local person who just bought this one. So this is from my first series, and they're all gone. So here's my little kit, my stamps, and this is all Arches watercolor, 100% cotton watercolor paper. So there we go. Get those two blanks out. And I do need to grab my washi tape. So I think I want a border on these. Maybe I'll do one with and one without a border. We'll see. Okay, got that started. All right. Do you guys really want to see this setup? Probably not. I'm just going to tape that one down just so it doesn't blow off because it's a little breezy out here, which is really kind of nice. That's why I'm outside. It's really nice that it is such a beautiful day. So I'm pretty happy with that. And this one I am going to do a border, just a little tiny thin one. And I'm going to use this, my Just Go Sketching board as my workspace. How cool is that? I like that idea. So yeah, it's just a super thin little line. So really excited to give this a try. And this is going to be the first time I try this sparkling water. And I've watched quite a few different YouTubes to get the idea of it and to make sure that I've got a good plan of action. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you get to experiment along with me because they may turn out just terribly shitty. I mean, who knows? So I do know that the first step, oh, let me get my water jug, that the first step is to get the sparkling, because what I want, and I'll show you a quick picture of what it is that I'm kind of after, that sparkling kind of look. And the best way to achieve that is via keeping the white of the paper. I'm gonna get this ready. Use this. Got to get it primed so it's coming out. Come on. Oh, a little block at the end here. So once you get it cleaned up, so this is hard. It's like a hard piece of plastic that goes in there, and it fits in there. And I think they give you this just in case this gets beat up. If you see how much I'm bouncing it. It's not working. Well, tell me you're all plugged up. All right, well, let me fiddle around with this. Oh, nope, it's coming through. It's starting to come through. Patience. It's starting to pump through. Whoa. Okay. There we go. We got it coming out now. Yay. Okay. Well, good thing it doesn't matter because I'm going to be splashing the heck out of these, this, and I am just dotting it. You could use a toothbrush and like spray it, but I am just going to dot it like this. Make sure it's flowing. And in water, one thing that you've got to remember is there is a distance, you know, like this is the closer, this is the farthest away. So they're going to be smaller little sparklies out there and bigger sparklies. Ooh, that's big. And kind of whatever up front. Okay. And let's go and do this one. Use gravity. And what this is going to do is preserve the white of the paper. Let's get it bigger. And I will use my white marker to kind of make stars out of some of them. So what I got to do now is let this dry. And I wonder, oops, I wonder if, don't smear it. I wonder if I can clean this before I put it away. Oh, that was the other thing. I wanted to kind of, ooh, big ol'. I kind of wanted to do you hear that? That is one of those big diesel pushers that's leaving. It's huge. Looks like it's like 40 feet long. It's crazy. So anyway, I wanted that to have more of a direction. So again, folks, this is the first time I've done this. And I can probably fix that later. I'll lift it. Maybe I'll lift it before I paint. Once it's dry, I can lift it up. So I'm going to try to clean this off just using my little thinners. So when I put it back, it won't be all icky. We'll see. We'll see how that works. Because I did not have that trouble the first 2 times I used this. So, but it ended up working just great. So, gotta let this dry. I'll be right back. Okay. It's dry now, and I'm gonna just take this little bit off. Just gonna lift it with my little thinner. Take that off. Okay, I'm gonna use my 8, size 8. And I put some music on in the background. It's not too loud. I don't know if you'll even be able to hear it. I'll go ahead and take off my bracelets. Put my little... I'm pretty excited to try this. It's a little tight, but I think it's going to be super handy because it is a little breezy out here today, so it should be interesting. So here's some French Ultramarine is what I'm going to try, and a little bit of the Thalo Blue. I tell you what, I saw a gal do a water thing, and she used that Thalo Blue and some quinacridone gold, and that's out of this one here. I'm just curious to see how that color comes about. Oh, look how greeny, bluey greeny that is. Ooh, that picked up a lot. Okay, probably too much. Let's try some of that green. It's the gold. Well, that does make a nice, but that's more for a sea color, isn't it? So anyway, I was just curious. I'm curious what that looks like. Let's see. Ooh, can you see that in the ocean pictures? Ooh, yeah. And then if you were to add just a little bit more of that blue, that's kind of cool. Anyway, just thought I'd try that. Was curious. I'll wipe that off because I'm probably not going to use much, if none of that. Just use my nasty little thing. There we go. All right. Are we ready for this? Okay, French Ultramarine. I am going to pick up a little bit of that greeny blue. And I'm also going to use some of this, if you can see it over here. I think you can, yeah. Some of this from another project. It looks just like a Payne's Gray. Oh, that was from it was from this picture. The Payne's Gray. I just used Payne's Gray for this picture. That's what that's for. So I'll use some of that to darken up this French Ultramarine. So I would imagine, just like everything else I've done, is there's always that little bit of lighter and darker. And I'm also going to use my brush as part of catching that sparkle. See how the dry brushing is creating that sparkle? I'm going to use more. I'm going to need a lot more than... Okay. So, too much. I want it to kind of be off to the side. A little bit of water. See how that's going to get paint on my board over time. That's going to look really interesting, I think. So I want to lighten this up. I might have just gone too dark just to start with. I've never done it before, so we're on this journey together. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to do this one over here. I'm going to start with a little bit more water. So in watercolor, the more water, the lighter the pigment. So you can use uh, the same pigment and get like multiple values. It's kind of fun. Okay, yeah, I'm happier with that. A little bit more added there. But when Joe and I were sitting on the uh, paddle boards, it was just so magical just to be surrounded by the water and all the sparkles. I was just turned on by the sparkles. And that got me thinking, I think what I want is water sparkle. No, I don't want more water. I want to just do sparkly water. So let's see how that looks. It's always kind of fascinating to me how watercolor paint, it just has to layer. So to me, I'm looking at this and all I see is a blob, but it's kind of cool and or warm and breezy out here. So this water's gonna dry fairly quick. So I won't have to wait too terribly long to do the next layer. But let's see what happens. I'm gonna add a little bit of this Payne's Gray. Darken it up. Payne's Gray is very blue. It's a very blue tone. So with the French Ultramarine, I'll be able to keep the same, you know, I'm not making it purple. It's Payne's Gray is blue, very blue based. So I'm just darkening this. And it was like, you know, off the edges, some straight lines. Up the top, it was very, you know, the further away you go, the smaller you want it to be. So as I come, and I want that center to be what draws the eye, not just generic sparkles, if that makes sense. Add a little bit of water. So I want some lines down here to do some of the waves. And I know, and I might go with the smaller brush with the next layer. See how that's just bringing in some of the darkness. So on Pandora, I'm listening to the Jimmy Buffett radio. You'll hear some Jamaica sounds. Oh, that's looking pretty good. All right, let's do this again for the other painting. Some of the blue. Pick up some of this Payne's Gray. There we go. I'm happy with that. Okay. And let's go. Again, side to side. So I want to keep that center. And then the masking fluid's going to bring back some of those extremes. And I bet you I'm going to have to do some darkening on the underside of those white things to bring more ripple. All right. Pretty happy with that. It's amazing how aggressive I'm being with both the paint and the paper or the water, because I'm not having to be careful with it. Because when I'm out and about and I don't have access to anything, see, like here, I can cheat and reach for an old brush, dry it off, and, you know, kind of take care of stuff. But when I'm out, away, and I don't have access to anything but the tools that I have, I'm much easier on the water, and I don't dunk the brushes in. I'm pretty careful with it, so I'm not so much paint, so much water, so much mess. It's kind of funny how easy I'm just kind of slopping it around. And I think number 4 is going to be perfectly good for what I need. See, I spilled my water. Let's see. Yeah, I think a size 4 should be good. Yeah, that gives me the point that I want. And here I am just chatting away. I'm just chatting away because I'm just giving more time for this to dry. Yeah, it sure does dry fast in between. And I already think I'm maybe ready to take the masking fluid off. And I can use my finger or I can use this little eraser. That actually might be a little easier. Just kind of run it across and just do some erasing. Maybe the finger's easier. I don't know, maybe a combination of the two. If you're going to use your finger, you do want to make sure, very, very sure, that your hands are free of oil and dirt, because you'll leave that behind. You don't want to streak up your paper. And I had, before I sat down, had just washed my hands, so no lotion or anything on them, so I know that my hands are very clean, and I'm not going to ruin my picture. All right, there's that one. Let's come back and do this one with all its little... Can you see the sparkling water on it, the way it looks like sparkled water already? That's kind of cool. Oh, a dragonfly just landed on me. How neat is that? I'm just running my finger over, and you can feel where there is some residual left behind. Yeah, I don't think I need that. So doing the dry brush did a really good job too. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So now what I'm trying to attempt to create now is that ripple effect. Okay, so that's what I'm going to go for now. And just like anything else, there's the darks and the lights of things. And I am pretty much diving into the Payne's Gray and just using the residual left over from the French Ultramarine at this moment, because I really want it to be pretty dark to do the underside of the waves that are going to come through. And you just need to make sure to stay horizontal. So underneath this little guy, I'm going to take it nice and slow. One of the things you can do too to get that ripple effect is you start with the point, push, and lift. And you get different sizes of, you know, that hump that's in the push and pull over here. And remember, the further out you go, the smaller the waves will get, so that it looks like they're further away. Let's do this big one here. I need some more dark. Let's try that again. Brown. What do you think? Is it starting to look like waves to you? Sparkly waves? do you think? Is that looking like sparkly water to you? I think it does. It really is kind of capturing that feel. We were sitting on the rafts and just looking at the water and the way the sun was just sparkling, and it looked so cool. It was magical. It was just magical. And I'm actually going to use my pen, um, my Seguro pen, to do some highlights too. So I'll set that out right there. Because I want some of these to look like little stars. And there's no, I'm just trying to get the vision, trying to decide where these little highlights and lowlights and dark little wavy things should go. Don't want to overdo it. But there were lots and lots of ripples in the water. So I want to make sure that I'm capturing those ripples properly. Real tiny up here. So you're looking far away. I think that looks pretty good. All right. So I did this one darker, it seems. So I'm going to go definitely with more straight into the Payne's gray than more of the blue. So I'm going to need that to work with me. So close up, bigger ripples, closer up. I think on this one I went too dark up here, but we'll see when I get done. See what I can get away with. What do you think? It's not too bad. But the contrasting color definitely gives the white more white, doesn't it? I mean, this looks whiter to me. The white looks more bright, sparkly almost. Boy, the wind, I tell you, one of the things about watercolor that is crazy is depending on where you're at, how quickly it dries. When I was in Arizona painting, oh my gosh, what a difference it is from painting in like the coast. It takes forever for anything to dry on the coast, but in the desert, I mean, it just dries almost instantly. And today it's warm but not scorching hot. It's definitely drying quicker than I would normally expect it to. So that's kind of crazy. You just have to adjust with whatever it is you're doing and whatever the temperature and the wind and all of those things matter. It's kind of crazy. Tell you, and this is not a hard painting on my thumb because I'm not really having to get in and do like that right there hurts so bad in here. But these little strokes, it's not so bad on my wrist. Yay. That looks pretty good. What do you think? For a first time really trying to do this? So will I have 2 paintings to try to sell on my storefront for my mile marker series Hell's Gate come Monday? You think I should try to sell them both? Yeah, maybe. So a couple things. Again, the further away you are, the smaller, paint all over me, the smaller you have the sparkles, and the smaller you have the paint, the waves. So it provides that distance. Okay, I'm adding a little more blue because I'm wanting to bring some value, more value into this lower section here. But when I went across the white, it's just gray. So adding more of the blue, I'm thinking it'll help make it look more waterly. Anyway, just little tiny strokes once you go further up to make it look small, further away. It's just a little illusion. All right. So even though it's pretty sparkly, it's not really showing like little starbursts here and there. So that's what I want to do with this. You always test it. Make sure it's running. There we go. Got that going well. Got it moving. So like right here, just a little. Maybe one here, little bursts. Short. Oh, wow. Doesn't that look cool? Wow. You know, I might have to just keep one of these because that looks like what it looked like on the water. So you just got to trust the process because sometimes you get to a point it's like, oh, that just doesn't look right. But you just keep going, trust it, and it comes together. Look at that. How about one up here? Tiny one up here. Come on. Just kind of an idea of it. I think I could probably go crazy with the sparkles, right? Oh my, that looks so cool. Let's see what it does on this darker one. I love this song. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Now, I'm making the choice of where to put the sparkles just kind of randomly. There isn't any real serious rhyme or reason other than kind of following the way I think the light would kind of burst out a little bit. And it when you look at photographs of sparkling water, or if you just observing it yourself live, there isn't really, it depends on the movement of the water. So there isn't a rule that I can think of that would say, hey, you got to put it here. Because I don't think that matters. Wow. I like this one better. But I like it. Really brings to mind the beautiful 2 different afternoons my husband and I have had on the water. Just so enjoying just kind of paddling around and bringing the, soaking up the sun and splashing around and just, you know, acting like little kids that we do. We do that so well. And we even went out and bought waterproof covers for our phones so that we can videotape, because he's like, I would have paid money to have the video of you going head first into the water. My God, geez. Maybe it was a good thing I didn't have it. What do you think? Sparkly? Should I stop? I need to stop now, huh? As I keep going. I really, really like that. And they do look like little sparkles in the water. Okay, so there's one here that I'm not, it's too stark. So I'm just gonna try to blend it up a little bit. This one right here. Soften up those edges just a little bit. There we go. It doesn't look quite so stark now. That one. Soften up the edges a little bit. Me and my fingers, I'm always using my fingers. Yeah, I like this one much better than that one. Is definitely, all right. Now let me get my little deal out. This is, gotta initial them. Gotta put your signature on them. And then my own little star. WK 726. My little star. I put that little star on all of them. And I will pull the tape on this. It was just barely holding on. So there's that one. Now I got to think of a name. Tape pull. I love the tape pull. That's so much fun. Okay, I think this one is the one I'm going to put for sale. That one's all right, but I think it's too dark. I kind of threw it off. Yeah, this is the one. This one's going to be for sale on Monday on my storefront. And I think I'll call it, what do you think? Shimmery Afternoon. How's that? Shimmery Afternoon. I think that sounds good. And this one. I gotta sign it. How you get a hold of me? And Shimmery Afternoon. And it's at Hell's Gate State Park, Idaho. Mile marker series. It is 100% cotton, watercolor, and ink, because that's ink, and Daniel Smith. Watercolor. There you go. My signature, my contact, the name. That is how you know it's an authentic piece. Oh, how about the date? 7/26. And I'll put my little star. Okay. There we go. How fun.